All right, welcome back to the Honda Sen Show on the road with the Senators in Pittsburgh here inside the lovely Consol Energy Center. And joining me now is ex-Senator Phil Bourque, color analyst for the Pittsburgh Penguins radio network. Phil, thanks very much for this. Oh, my heavens. Nice digs. Nice digs.
Not
Obviously
too shabby.
liking these, eh? Wow.
Not too shabby. But you know what? It still feels foreign to me. And you probably went through this when you first got into your new arena, that you need to have memories. Good memories, but you also need to have your heart broken a couple times too. That all makes it feel like home. It's still a little foreign, but it is special.
I have to tell you, I love the igloo. I love the old igloo and its atmosphere and its ambiance and the tightness of the seats. These seats are 5 inches
Look at
wider.
this. Look at the room we have here. Luxurious.
This is outstanding. Now, I can imagine the players are pretty excited about this new building, but they also had some pretty good success at the old building.
Yeah, they did. And I think a lot of people are saying, that was Mario's building, and it was. It was where Mario made special things happen. And a lot of people saying this is Sidney Crosby's arena, and it's time to turn the page. And you're right. That was a special arena. It was a shame we never won a Stanley Cup in that arena. Never had it inside that arena, and that's something the Penguins want to do here. But there was a uniqueness about it with the dome and the sound and the feel and the smell too. It had a certain something about it. But it's time to turn the page. The new girl's in town, and she's looking pretty good.
She is looking very good indeed. Now, a couple of bad dates here, though, to start things off.
Yes.
What has been the problem with the feel here in the home rink?
Yeah, a couple rocky dates coming out of the chute. This is going to sound like excuses, but I think it's part of the reason was especially the first night. The first night, the players just were out of sorts. There was just so much fanfare, so much going on. They had the red carpet, and you wanted to embrace it as a player. You really wanted to enjoy it, but to me, I think it was a major distraction. They just really weren't focused, and you can see how this league is. I mean, you have players just 10% less than what they need to be, and you're going to end up on a losing end.
Yeah, understandable, very understandable. Now, things are starting to cook now for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and some changes made to this hockey club. My goodness, I think I counted no fewer than 8 changes from what we saw in the postseason last year.
And give a lot of credit to Ray Shero. I mean, he's done his homework, and not only has he gone out and got really good hockey players, but he's got super people too. And right from Mike Carmery to Aaron Asham to Zbynek McCulloch. I mean, these are Paul Martin. These are just really, really quality people that have fit in our dressing room and on our team.
When you talk about the losses of the Pittsburgh Penguins from last year, obviously the big name that comes to mind is Sergei Gonchar. 5 years in this team. He did wonders for Evgeny Malkin. He did wonders for Sidney Crosby. Helped this team win a Stanley Cup 2 years ago. What was the general feeling in this city July 1st at 12:10 when the Penguins realized that he was gone and playing for another team?
I think the knee-jerk reaction was disappointment because he was so loved by his teammates and his fans, and they knew how special a unique player he was, especially on the power play with that big shot. But after that initial thought, it was understood that there's no way the Penguins could have signed him for 3 years, not with everything else that they have going on financially. It just was not going to fit. And I think he's going to get a nice, warm response here tonight because he was so loved, and I think people just wish him the best now.
Interesting that you say loved by his teammates. Can you put into perspective just how well he was received and how important he was in that locker room?
I don't think you can put it in words because he was such a quiet leader. He not only a leader by example, and you see a lot of players like that, but he was like E.F. Hutton. When he spoke, everybody kind of went, whoa, right? Gonch is going to say something here. We better listen, because it usually had a lot of weight and a lot of value. And I think he was the type of leader that would just come over and talk to you one-on-one. He wasn't a guy to stand up in the room and be rah, rah, rah. And he was unique that way, that he showed up every night, and he was very special for the growth of Evgeny Malkin also.
Yeah, Evgeny lived with him right up until last year or the year before, did he not? And obviously, look at how he's turned out. He's been pretty good and assimilated beautifully into life in North America more than anything else, probably because of the role that Sergei Gonchar played in his life.
Yeah, he really fast-tracked Malkin. The language was a huge barrier. Just being around North America. I mean, where he's from in Magnitogorsk, it's a big city, but it's a steel city. It's a small city. It's kind of in the country a bit. And so for him to be in North America like this, he needed somebody just to kind of lean on and give us confidence. People forget how young these kids are when they come over from Russia, and how quick people expect them to adapt. And if it wasn't for Sergei Gonchar, I think that Malkin would have had a lot more trouble.
Lots of time to mull things over following last season's disappointing second-round loss to the Montreal Canadiens. General thoughts on what happened last year near the end of the year?
Well, I think going back to the players that you talked about that Ray Shero brought in, they addressed what they thought was their biggest problem, and that was the defensive side of the puck. By bringing in Martin and McCulloch, they felt like, okay, we have the offense. We have the guys like Malkin and Crosby. We have guys like that can put the puck in the net. Now we need to keep it out of our net a little bit more, and we need to insulate our goaltender, whether it's Marc-Andre Fleury or Brent Johnson. So I think that at the end of the day, we thought we were better than we probably were, and we addressed the issues.
Better team this year?
Absolutely. I think from top to bottom, I'll be honest with you, Gord, I can't remember our organization as a whole having more depth than we have right now. Down in Wilkes-Barre, we got a really good hockey team there, and as you can see, we've needed it. With the injuries we've had early on, if it wasn't for them, the guys that we've been able to bring in and fill those holes, whether it's Ben Lovejoy or Andrew Hutchison or whoever it is, come in and fill a very important role right now and kind of keep the wheels on the track.
Phil, thanks for this. Much appreciated.
Good time.
Enjoy your new digs.
All right, I will. Thanks.
Cheers.